So this is the last of our three-part series of Behind the Hunt for the 2018 archery season. This last video is going to discuss my 2018 whitetail buck harvest. Really memorable hunt for me. This hunt really probably meant the most out of any hunt. Just the fact that I hit a buck earlier in the year and I didn't recover it. Decided to stick with the stick and the string, and was able to put an outstanding shot on this buck. Hit him right through the heart, went about 25 yards and tipped over. So let's get into the breakdown of the hunt here. So I want to discuss why I decided to hunt this property during the rut. Hunt took place on November 6th, I believe. So one thing that stood out about this property is how it would set up with a west-northwest or northwest wind. Bucks with a west or northwest wind would be cruising this top third because we'd be getting that wind tunnel effect, and that's a common wind here in Wisconsin during November. That seems to be the predominant wind. Another thing that stood out was all the different edges. Had corn standing over here on top of the ridge, on top of the hill, corn in the valley below, had some CRP bedding over here, and I just like the way it's set up with an edge. I mean, they could be cruising this top third, which has been talked about by Dan Infalt and whatnot, but not only that, there's also a little soft edge right here, and that created a little soft funnel right here, and it would funnel all the deer going through this property right through here, and I really like that setup. I never was able to scout this property, so I wasn't 100% sure on the bedding areas, so I wasn't able to identify those. In this off season, I'll make a point to get out here so I can figure out exactly where the deer are. So just going back to that day, you got to park in the valley below, which makes this property kind of difficult to hunt, because if bucks are bedding off these points, they can watch anything that's coming up and down these roads. So it's a gamble that you just have to take when hunting this property. You have two options of accessing your stand locations. You can either shoot up this way and hope that there's no bucks bedding over here, or you can shoot up this way. It just happened on this day I decided to go this way. If you follow the orange dotted line here, I got about halfway up the hill here, and once you know it, there was a buck bedding right here. Pretty good buck. It looked like a 3-year-old, and I have no problem shooting 3-year-olds on public land. And I jumped him, and he headed this way if you follow that purple line. And I assumed with a west or west-northwest wind, he would be probably bedding off this point for his escape bed. So that left me a decision. Where do I sit? So I ended up deciding to sit right over the bed. The reason I like this setup, there was all sorts of rubs in here, so there might have been a chance that he came back to that bed. Another reason I like that setup, like I said previously, there's a nice little funnel right here, and that that top third cruising trail that they could take. So it just set up perfect for a rut situation. So another factor is that you got to get up really high. If you're sitting over those cruising trails in hill country, you got to get up high enough to where your scent blows over that trail. So that was a big key. I was up probably 20 to 25 feet, probably closer to that 25 feet range. So I sat for a couple hours, and once you know it, I noticed a buck coming from the direction that first buck took off to. And as he got closer, I noticed, same frame, very similar build. I thought it was the same buck coming back to this bed, and he wasn't cruising or anything. He was just slowly meandering back to this location. and there was some scrapes and rubs over here. I think he was going back to freshen up that scrape before he was going back to bed, because he actually didn't know exactly what I was when I was accessing the stand, because I froze. He didn't get a smell of me or anything. I ended up sitting up right where this orange star looking thing is, and yeah, it ended up working out perfect. He came back, tried working a scrape over here. Before he was able to get to that scrape, I was able to shoot him at I think it was 22 yards. Pretty great shot on him, heart shot. And as you guys can see in this next part, you'll see the results of that shot.
There he be. Nice, beautiful buck. Looks to be a 3-year-old or so.
So as you can see, it was a pretty good buck for public land here in Wisconsin. I'll discuss, kind of the live setup too, so you guys can see what it looked like from a ground view.
So my tree stands in that tree right there. It's right on the back side of that tree. And there's a trail that comes up right here. You can actually see a rub right there. Pretty fresh. And there was a buck bedded in here this morning. It might have been the same one. I bumped him out because there was also a fresh rub down here. The shot was right here. About a 20-yard shot. Looked like I either hard shot him or double lunged him. Didn't go far. I'll just give you a wider range perspective on the shot. From my tree stand, which is right over here. That was the shot, 20 yards.
So this video will conclude the 2019 Behind the Hunt strategy type video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. What do we got coming up here? Bud and I are headed to Nebraska. I think we're going to be hunting the Pine Ridge, that northwestern part of Nebraska. We've never been out there, so it's just going to be a experiment for those Merriam's turkeys out there, and whatever happens, happens. We might have some fishing coming up down the road. Not sure if we'll be heading up to the Fox River. I think we'll be doing some Fox River walleye fishing. Yeah, we got some more stuff. Who knows what will be coming next. But just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.